Chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission for Jefferson County. I'd like to welcome you to the October 9th public hearing of the P&Z. And we're now at 1 o'clock and we'll begin our scheduled public hearing. If you have any electronic devices, phones, anything like that that would disrupt the meeting, please turn them to silent for us. Appreciate that. That goes for the commissioners too, y'all. So the Planning and Zoning Commission is charged with regulating the subdivision of property in unincorporated Jefferson County. And the legal definition of a subdivision is any division of land into two or more lots for the purpose of development or sale. Sometimes you may associate the word subdivision with, a 500 lot community. So it could just be a 2-lot parcel. So that's to differentiate between that. So adjacent property owners of each subject property in the subdivisions have been notified by mail, and legal advertisements were published and signs were posted on the affected properties that contain 5 or more lots. So the Planning and Zoning Commission is also responsible for administering Jefferson County's comprehensive plan and future land use amendments. The Commission reevaluates rezoning cases for their consistency with planning policies and zoning regulations as they pertain to unincorporated areas of the county. And they provide recommendations to the County Commission, which makes the final decision on rezoning cases. Also, for zoning cases, property owners within 500 feet of each case have been notified by mail, and legal advertisements were published and signs were posted on the affected properties. So as part of our responsibility today, we conduct our proceedings in accordance with the federal fair housing laws, and the Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing based on race, color, religion, sex, familial status, national origin, disability, financial status, or housing arrangements. This commission is committed to ensuring fair, lawful, and equitable land use practices in all matters that come before us. Now, with those things out of the way, I would like to ask the clerk to please call the roll for today.
Ken Lowry.
Present.
Jay Miller.
Present.
Mark Sigler.
Here.
Christy Forsythe.
Present.
Patrick Gilbert.
Here.
Joseph Andrews.
Present.
Kenneth Bush.
Here.
Steve Lira.
Here.
Edward Brown.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have 4.
All right, thank you. Next, may I have a motion for adoption of the meeting minutes from our previous meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion we suspend the rules and adopt the minutes from last month as proposed. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. So now we're going to begin with the items on today's agenda. Each case will be presented individually with time allotted for public comment. And for anyone wishing to speak, you can raise your hand. I'll recognize that you can come up to the podium. And state your name and address so we can have that for the record and provide any comments or questions to me, okay? So we'll start, again, hang on just a second. That's left over from last month, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, the script has the comp plan and zoning thing on it still. That's okay. Just making sure you didn't have that on the agenda and I missed it. Okay. All right. So first we're going to hear the subdivision cases. We'll announce each case separately and then we'll call for opposition. The applicant or their representative may be asked to come forward to the podium to answer any questions. So we're going to start with our first case is subdivision case S230003. The applicant is Daniel Carr. This is Brook Hollow Estates, second sector, 3 lots proposed. And the address is 8260 Kermit Johnson Road, Pinson 35216. Is there any opposition to this subdivision case? All right, is the applicant here? All right, hearing no opposition, may I have a motion for this case?
Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion for approval on case number S23003 with an exception to the subdivision regulations to allow lots 1, 2, and 3 to be recorded with no road frontage.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Our next subdivision case is S250055. The applicant is Aaron Sizemore. The request is for Jolly Bend subdivision, 3 lots proposed. The address is 4362 Jolly Road, Bessemer, Alabama 35022. Is there anyone here in opposition to this subdivision case? Is the applicant present? All right, thank you. Any questions from the commissioners? All right. Hearing no opposition, may I have a motion on this case?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number S250055 with an exception to the subdivision regulations to allow Lot 3 to be recorded with no road frontage.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. Our next subdivision case today is S250056. The applicant is Christy Pridmore. Request is Pridmore's resurvey of Lot 1 of Capstone Sunview subdivision, 2 lots proposed. This is at the address of 9227 Sunview Road, Warrior, Alabama 35180. Is there anyone here in opposition to this case today? All right, is the applicant present? Okay, since we have no opposition, may I have a motion, please?
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'd like a motion for approval on case number S250056.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. The next subdivision case today is S250058. The applicant is Robert Reynolds. The request is Spencer and Lee resurvey 1 lot proposed. Address 2205 Lakeside Drive, McCalla 35111. Is there any opposition to this subdivision case? All right, would you please come up to the podium and give us your name and address? If both of you speak, you can give us both names and addresses.
Yes, my name is Jimmy Smallwood. I'm at 2207 Lakeside Drive. My property is right next door, and the property that he is talking about is right behind my house. So I'm in opposition of him buying the strip behind my house for future garages or whatever he wants to do back there.
We'd also like to know what the property, how much property is being rezoned.
Okay, so this is not a rezoning case.
Not
Okay.
rezoned, which,
He's going to purchase.
how do we know any?
Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I know it's 1 point.
Mr. Martin, would you give him the answers and the details?
1.5 acres is what they're, I believe they already own this piece of land, they're joining it together by a subdivision, so it's 1 lot of record.
Well,
2 lots.
Well, see, I'm on to his lot is 62, right?
Yes, sir.
That's where he lives now. And mine is 64, which is I'm on the right-hand side next to it. So my only concern is the property behind me that he's trying to, I don't know if he's already bought it or if he's just trying to put it into his domain there.
Well, if the applicant's present, I can get him to come up and talk to us about it, okay?
Okay.
So, but you just basically had questions, no opposition, correct?
No, we are in opposition.
Opposition of that particular strip behind my house, yes.
Well, he already owns that property.
Yeah, but
This is joining together in 1 lot of record. It's
Oh.
really more of a legal
yeah.
joining.
But can he go back there? I know it's through the zoning commission and build a garage behind my house.
Well, let's let him.
Okay, so we have 2 parcels that he owns, the applicant owns both of them, and he's joining them together into 1 plat
Yeah.
for a survey,
So
okay?
that's what this is.
Right, and so whatever zoning is currently, and I think it's A1, is that
It's
right?
A1. Yeah.
So it's agricultural 1, and he can do anything in agricultural 1 that's allowed by that. So he can't build anything on your property, but he can build something on his property.
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
technically, he could build that currently without going through the combination
Okay.
process.
But they have to go through the zoning before he can build.
No,
Zoning is the same zoning already.
Well, I mean, if he wanted to change the zoning, he would have to go through us.
Okay.
But he can build anything that's allowed in A1 agricultural. So you can imagine, I'm guessing your property's probably agricultural as well?
yes.
Same thing.
Okay, so I mean, you know what you can build on your place, he'll be able to do the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. All right, is the applicant present? All right, so I'm sorry, their applicant's not present, so we can't ask him any questions. So. Okay. All right. Any questions from the commissioners?
Sir?
All right, may I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion for approval on case number S250058.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. And I forgot to mention this earlier, after we've heard your case that you're interested in, you're welcome to leave, but you can also stay for the show if you like. You're welcome. Our next subdivision case today is S250059. Applicant is Jeffrey Lucas. The request is Francisco's addition to Bessemer, one lot proposed. The address is 1204 Southwest 4th Avenue, Bessemer 35022. Is there anyone here in opposition to this subdivision case? Is the applicant present? All right. May I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number S250059.
Second.
All right. A motion is second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right. Motion passes. Thank you. Our next subdivision case is S250061. Sorry, 60. It is 60. I'll repeat. S250060. Wes Bertoldi is the applicant. The request is Vance resurvey, 2 lots proposed. The address is 7379 West Highway 78, Dora 35062. Is there any opposition to this subdivision case today? Is the applicant with us? All right, welcome. Thank you. Any questions from the commissioners for the applicant? All right, hearing none, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number S250060.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, our next subdivision case is S250065. The applicant is Brenda Chandler. The request is for a Chandler survey of 1 lot proposed at 2855 Washington Street, Trussville, Alabama 35173. Is there any opposition to this subdivision case? Is the applicant present? May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for approval on case number S250065.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. So that concludes our subdivision cases today. Next, we're going to be hearing zoning cases. The staff will present the case to the commission, and then we'll call for opposition. And the applicant or their representative may be asked to come forward to the podium as well and answer any questions. We do have a time limit of 15 minutes for opposition and 15 minutes for the applicant. And just to remind everybody that the zoning commission only makes recommendations on zoning cases. The final decision is made by the Jefferson County Commission at one of their future meetings. So our first zoning case today is Z250009. The applicant is Russell Ware Jr. The request is for a change of zoning from C1 commercial with the removal of restrictive covenants for the development of a shopping plaza and a convenience store with gas pumps. The address is 397 and 403 West Oxmoor Road, Birmingham, Alabama, 35209. Mr. Brown, please.
Yes, sir. Just one correction. There are 3 parcels, 397, 403, and 409 West Oxmoor, Homewood, Alabama. So, Mr. Chairman, the future land use plan identifies this property as under the newly adopted future land use categories, center, district, and the proposal does comply with the neighborhood center designation requirements. According to the current zoning map to the right, property is presently zoned C1 commercial. Surrounding the property is property within the city of Birmingham jurisdiction. There's MXD or mixed use zone to the west, QD5 or multi-family zone, to the east as well as to the north. To the south of the property across Happy Lane is property that is classified as C1 within the unincorporated county. Existing land use conditions. The property is within the Shades Creek watershed. There are no wetlands on site. The contours range from 710 to 740 feet, with the steepest part of the site being closest to West Oxmoor Road. The property is also not within a FEMA-designated floodplain. The aerial map to the right shows you that to the north of this property is Homewood Church of Christ. To the east is Regency Retirement Village of Birmingham. And to the west, across West Oxmoor Road, is Life South Community Blood Center. And to the south is Oxmoor Valley Orthodontics. This is an aerial view, or eagle's view, as I prefer to call it, of the three parcels that are contiguous at the intersection of West Oxmoor and Happy Lane. And this is mostly for the public's edification as well as the applicant. Preserving mature trees. It's beneficial for the following four reasons: mitigating climate change, improving air and water quality, managing stormwater, and supporting biodiversity. There are several mature trees on the applicant's property. All of these trees and or shrubs are native to Alabama with the exception of one, and that is the tree of heaven that's located in the north and west of the subject property, which is here. In correspondence with the applicant, he says, we plan to save what we can. Trees on the interior, however, will need to be taken due to the amount of grade work necessary for the site. Preserving mature trees is not a requirement currently within the county's zoning ordinance. This is the applicant's proposed site plan. Again, they're proposing an 8,000 square foot shopping plaza with 36 off-street supporting parking spaces. They're also proposing a convenience store with gas pumps, approximately 5,000 square feet with 14 supporting off-street parking spaces. And they're proposing 12 gas pumps. So based upon the site development plan that was submitted for your review and consideration, I did a three-dimensional rendering of the applicant's site plan. And with their consensus, this is close to what the development proposal will look like. The gas pumps will be in front of the convenience store, and the retail plaza will be contiguous to the convenience store. This is just census block data specific to this particular zip code. I won't go into the details of that. However, trip generation, the gasoline and service station is proposed to generate approximately between 123 and 145 trips per day from morning to evening. The strip retail plaza will generate approximately 419.3 trips per day. West Oxmoor Road is a minor arterial. It's in terms of service levels, it's nowhere near filling, not a level F or a level D. So the capacity of the road can support the proposed development. These are the covenants that were agreed to between the Church of Homewood Church of Christ and the property owner. Only enforceable between these two properties and not the county. I will only point out that these restrictive covenants are more restrictive than the C1 zone district allows within the county zoning ordinance. Lastly, the staff, is recommending approval based upon one condition, and that's that a right turn lane will be required into the development as required by the Traffic Engineering Department or Roads and Transportation Department. And Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. So is the applicant present, Mr. Ware? Just hang on, I'm going to see if there's any opposition first. Is there any opposition to this case? All right, so basic routine, name and address first, and
Sure.
Let me know what you got.
Name is Jay Clark here for the church, and my address is 2329 Misty Ridge Circle in Hoover. And don't really have opposition. We want to clarify what has happened since the last time when the church did oppose initially. Okay. And some of this may still Mr. Ware's thunder, but as was pointed out, there was a consensual restrictive covenant on one of the parcels, and we've been in talks with the seller and purchaser and have worked out an agreement where the church will release the existing covenant and all the parties will enter into new covenants that will allow the proposed development that the purchaser wants to place on the property, and will basically, would just say, characterize it that it would impose vice restrictions on future use. Nothing that they intend to use the property for would be restricted by the covenant. So we've already signed that document by the church and by the purchaser and by the seller. It's yet to be recorded. I think they were going obviously we're going to wait till after closing to do that.
We did get a copy of it, Mr. Clark,
You did?
so
Okay.
we've seen it.
And he's not here today. Rick Stern, I believe, was here previously and may have submitted, evidence or a statement in opposition. And he is the owner of the company that runs the Regency Retirement Apartments and Assisted Living. And I texted with Rick yesterday, and he's been involved in the negotiations. The church really has, I won't say the authority, but we control whether we can release or not the restrictive covenants in place. But we were looking to try and protect, because the assisted living is on our church grounds and accessible through the church parking area. So we looked out for him, included him in those negotiations, and he approved the agreement that was signed. I texted him yesterday, and poor thing, he's in Italy, and so he said he would not make it here today. But his text, for what it's worth, he said, appreciate what the church had done, looking out for them, and that he was good with whatever the church wanted to do moving forward based on the new restrictions that have been proposed. Okay. So that's kind of a long-winded explanation of what's gone on and clarifying we no longer oppose based on the presumption that the covenants that have been entered into or the documents been signed recently will be recorded at the time of closing. So one question that I had, and on the commission hearing notice, it referenced 2 parcels by street address, and the restrictive covenant that we have has 3 parcels by legal description, but they don't set out what street address those are. And so I'm wondering what that 3rd parcel, I want to be sure whether it's included in the restrictive covenant that we have, because that was kind of a part of the negotiation, was that the entirety of the development would be subject to these new restrictions. And I don't know that it's not, because there are 3 separate parcels in the covenant. But I was a little bit of a curve when that 3rd street address was mentioned, because it wasn't on the notice, and I didn't know that might be anything. So I don't know if y'all know if that's any different.
Okay, so if you don't mind giving me an opportunity. So when I called the case, I mentioned 2 addresses, and Mr. Brown corrected me that there was a 3rd address that wasn't listed in my paperwork. So do you want to...
I'm going to ask the applicant, do you mind? Let me go to the...
All right. So, Mr. Ware, since he's going to ask you a question, give us your name and address for the record, please.
Okay. My name's Russell Ware. I'm with Capstone Engineering Group. We're located at 2238 4th Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
These are the parcels right here. So when I looked at the aerial, there are 3 addresses that populate it. The 397, 403 is the vacant lot in between, and then at the end is 409. So is it only?
It's only 2, to my knowledge.
Okay, all right.
I think that 397 that you mentioned is all wooded and is not necessarily part, at least when we walked it with the purchaser and broker.
So this is what Google Maps represents for those 3 parcels. 397 is here, 409 is here, 403 is here. We can correct it if correction is required, but.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something here. It's not uncommon in Jefferson County for a parcel to have 2 addresses. In that case, since it's on that intersection, one of those addresses probably has been assigned to the side of the road there.
But as long as it's really all about the parcel number. Right. So if your parcel numbers are right, it should be fine.
Yeah, you have 2 of those.
Parcel numbers should be correct, but we'll double check when we leave here.
So, Mr. Clark, did you have anything else?
That's all. If you don't have any questions of me, that was all I had.
Okay. If you have a seat, I want to see, is there anyone else here in opposition? Okay. You probably know the drill now. Name and address, please, first.
I'm Debbie Sema. Address is 415 West Oxmoor Road. I'm not in opposition. I just have some requests or considerations. I've been at Oxmoor Valley Orthodontics for about 22 years, and I have been trying to get us some help with the traffic control there. We see about 80 patients a day, and we have 15 on staff. So we have 100 folks coming into Happy Lane and exiting, and a lot of these are kids who are 16 years old and new drivers. And so I support Terry. This is nothing against this. I just want some help in trying to make it as safe as we can, especially for our kids who are trying to get in and out of this intersection, and it is a challenge. I have asked for even just blinking lights coming up the hill from Bluff Park to slow traffic down. It is very difficult to get in and out of Happy Lane for all of our patients and staff. So I just wanted to be on record and ask y'all who else I could talk to, because for 2 decades I've been asking, to get some help with this intersection. So that's all I have.
Okay, so before you sit down, Mr. Brown, would you put up the map that I just want to see what area her office is located in? And
yeah, so we're in the old train depot right there.
okay, all right. And you saw from the plan, Mr. Brown, would you show the site plan for the development?
Yeah,
So,
and I heard that there's going to be an extra turn lane.
yeah,
or
you'll see it
something.
at the northeast corner at the top, like.
You refer to the service entrance here? Oh, the turn lane. Well, Ken, you're here. I mean, you can speak to the turn lane.
It needs to serve the development if it serves Happy Lane.
Is there any chance of us getting a red light there or some way to slow down traffic coming off the hill from Bluff Park?
Less Happy Lane has a large development on it I'm not aware of. We would not want that.
We've already
No.
had some accidents out there.
All right, so,
Signals cause the number of crashes to increase.
so just to, this is not a help, but I'm just explaining. So the planning commission can't affect change with that, okay, unless it's related directly to this. Like they're going to have to put in a turn lane for their site, okay, that we can control. Roads and Transportation makes the decisions on traffic controls, like red lights, stop sign, things like that. So you can talk to them. You can talk to Ken after we get finished, and he can give you the details. He doesn't always have good news, I can tell you that.
Like I said, I've been there since 2003 and then haven't been able to get anything.
It's okay.
But,
He's told me no before. So,
yeah,
I mean,
I just appreciate y'all's
but,
time.
but I mean, they have guidelines that they follow. But you can always talk to your the commissioner for your district too.
Yep, we've done that too. But,
Okay.
Okay, I
Well,
appreciate y'all.
Squeaky wheel, Okay, thank you. Anyone else in opposition? All right. Mr. Ware, would you like to come up and take a couple of questions maybe, if we have them, or do you want to add anything else to what's been discussed?
I don't have anything to add. We're just ready to get moving forward and get into the design and get her moving. So I'll answer any questions that y'all might.
Okay, well, I had one I just want to make sure you were aware of, and that was that we're going to have a condition for a turn lane. You
Yes,
aware of
sir.
that? Okay. All right. Do any of the commissioners have questions for Mr. Ware?
Fully aware of the covenants, and y'all are imposing them upon yourself?
Yes.
You gone over those? Really?
Well, they've worked out the agreements. It's been since, I think we first came in April, so they've been working it out.
See what we would impose on, so
Yes.
that's great, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from the commissioners? All right. Just a comment, I appreciate the fact that you're going to maintain as many trees as you can, so.
Mr. Ware, we need your address. We're ready.
2238 4th Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 35401.
Yeah. For the record, he did give it the first time. Okay.
Twice, all right.
All right, Mr. Ware, I think we have everything we need.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, may I have a motion for this zoning case, please?
Mr. Chairman, with the following stipulations, that we remove the R1 zoning covenants that were imposed, and that the buyer and seller are accepting their self-imposed covenants, that we are not imposing them, and that the requirement of a right turn lane be required into the development. I recommend approval of Z25-0009.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, we're going to move on to our next rezoning case, Z250023. Kendall and Prince is the applicant. This request a change of zoning to I-1 light industrial to allow 3 public storage units for personal items, boats, and RVs. And the address for this rezoning request is 6533 Pocahontas Road, Bessemer, Alabama 35022.
Yes, sir. The applicants are proposing 3 100 by 30 personal storage units. Public storage units for personal use, storage of personal use boats and RVs. This parcel is vacant, undeveloped land. It's approximately 4.65 acres. It abuts single-family zone district to the north and to the west. In the A1 zone district, it abuts single-family dwellings to the south. In the PUD R7 zone district, right across Pocahontas Road is a restaurant that's currently zoned C1A conditional alcohol use. This parcel has road frontage on Pocahontas Road. It is less than 100 feet from the intersection of Pocahontas Road, Lindsay Loop Road, and Dairy Loop Road. This parcel of land was requested to be rezoned in 2020 for the same request that's made today. That's a public storage unit. It was denied because it was in conflict with the comprehensive plan of the Shades Creek watershed. Recently, we updated our comprehensive plan and is now classified as an activity center. For clarity, I will read the definition of how the activity center is described. It's a regional destination attracting visitors for services, shopping, dining, and recreation. It provides gathering spaces that draw people from both within and beyond Jefferson County. Activity centers often features a mix of commercial, office, institutional, and residential uses, creating a dynamic environment that supports both daytime and evening activities. Buildings are pedestrian-friendly with engaging facades and street-facing entrances, while parking is placed behind or beside structures to maintain a walkable streetscape. Landscaping and green infrastructure balance development intensity with the natural elements. According to the current comprehensive plan, the proposed use or the proposed rezoning from A1 to institutional 1 is in conflict and staff recommends denial. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I would like to speak.
Sir, just a minute. I have control of the meeting. I'm going to give you opportunity to cut. So, I appreciate the aggressiveness, though. Okay. So, is there any opposition to this rezoning case?
I have opposition to a denial. Is that what I heard?
Well,
You say denying the
okay. So, hang on. So it's me and you, not them. Okay. So, what? Let me just clarify. But give me your name and address first.
My name is Scotty Prince. I live at 4548 Shades Creek Drive.
Okay. Well, let me explain what was just discussed. So the staff has reviewed the case and made a recommendation that we deny the rezoning. Okay. That's what was just said. So tell me what you...
Well, I don't know why it would be denied. We're a lot less busy and populated. The restaurant straight across the street, right in front of our property, is more of an industrial zone than what ours is. And D.R. Horton has probably covered 150, 160 acres with slab houses, concrete driveways, paved roads going to them, and they're using the exact same ditches that would run off, the water would run off our property. In fact, the ditch goes directly where my property ends. The ditch is the back border of my property. So why is what we've got going on? All I want is some storage buildings. You know, I've lived in this community for 40 years. I've served this community for 30 in the heat and air business. Me and my wife and my son. That's all we are. And I can't understand why somebody who probably has never even driven through Bluff Ridge is going to tell people at Bluff Ridge what they can and cannot have. Obviously, somebody with deep pockets can build houses all over that place. And we're using the same drainage. I'm not educated. I didn't go to college or anything. But I do have common sense. He's using the same drainage ditches for this huge subdivision that is already built and that we would be using. The water runs off our property. If we had storage buildings out there and concrete on them, we're less than 5 acres. He's got like 150, 160 acres that's covered up with concrete and asphalt. And we're using the same ditches. How is it that it's okay with these people for him to do all that, but it's not okay for us to try to build something that would make us money in our retirement? And we serve the community not by a faceless multi-million-dollar corporation like all the other storage buildings around there in front of McAdory School and all, but a locally owned and locally operated business. I picked up garbage. I go up and down Pocahontas Road picking up our trash that people throw out. You know, I've served this community and got no intentions of leaving. I'm not understanding why it's a problem for us to have storage buildings on here.
Okay. Mr. Prince, so just to be clear, you're the applicant, correct?
Well, my wife is, but this would be my wife's business. She's when I die, this will be something that'll make her a living that she can live off of for the rest of her years.
Okay, so let me just pause for a second. When I called for opposition, I was asking, is anyone opposed to rezoning the property, which you're not. So I just want to make sure there's no one present. I think.
Well, I thought that's what she said they're opposed to.
Hang on a second. So is there anybody else in the room today that's in opposition to this zoning case? I'm guessing they're for the next case. Okay, I got to get that procedurally out of the way. So we're done. Nobody else said, no, I meant, come on, we're going to talk, is what I'm trying to say. I had to get that out of the way that there's no one else in opposition, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I understand you're not opposed to the rezoning. You want the rezoning, and you want to understand why the staff recommended denial, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I'll explain it.
D.R. Horton could build an airport over there and be okay with everybody, but I can't understand.
Well, so I'm going to be clear, okay? So we follow the rules and regulations of the county on rezoning, okay? Mm-hmm. And if D.R. Horton doesn't meet them, they don't get rezoned, okay? Just like anybody else, okay? So it isn't D.R. Horton can do whatever they want, okay? No one can, obviously. Okay? So we have, like I said, rules and regulations set forth. So if you listen to the presentation, they talked about we have a comprehensive plan that dictates what future land use can be. And your property is not designated to be used for industrial purposes, which is the zoning that you would have to have storage units.
Yes, sir. And that's another question. I worked at Copper Byproducts for 14 years in Dolomite. Do these people even know the definition? Do they know what industrial is? I mean,
which people are you?
Buildings, the people who said storage buildings could only be put in industrial places. That restaurant across the street is more of an industrial situation. I just don't get. I don't get why the storage buildings would be industrial. Anybody that's ever worked or in an industrial situation, or maybe their parents did, would be able to tell you that industrial is a whole different world than storage buildings.
Okay, so just for sake of argument, what zoning do you think storage units would fit in?
Just commercial.
Okay, so they used to be in commercial and they were changed because they're not quite commercial. They're more like industrial.
Well, we have a water spigot, and we'll have lights inside these buildings, and security lights, and not necessarily security lights, security cameras. And again, I'd say that restaurant across the street is more industrial than what my little buildings would be.
Well, the zoning regulations say that restaurants are commercial, not industrial. I'll ask staff, do you want to add any more to my remarks to address his questions or comments?
Only thing that I would say is that they were moved into the industrial category simply because of it's more of a warehousing element. It's more in line with what's allowed in I-1 light industrial. And we've seen that when these things have gone into areas where you have a potential for a lively commercial activity, that these things, they just don't fit because they're not designed the same way. They're not something that you go and visit. They're not like an office or a restaurant or a boutique or something like that. It's something that basically serves an industrial purpose. You go there, people drop their stuff off. They stay there, then they go back and forth, get things and pick things up. And anyway, but as far as a productive use of property in a commercial area, we felt that many warehouses did not fit that and were more aligned with things that would be more of a light industrial type of nature. And that's why they were moved from C1 to I1.
And Mr. Prince, I don't know, were you the owner of the property in 2020?
Yes, sir. We have been applying. We've been trying to get this done for a little over 5 years.
Okay. Well, see, it was denied as a rezoned to commercial then. So, and now you're requesting industrial to meet the zoning ordinance. So, it's pretty clear. I mean, it's just where the land's located. It doesn't fit the land use plan in our comprehensive plan.
Well, how come people that don't even live in Bluff Ridge can plan out Bluff Ridge's future? I've lived there for 40 years. I've served this community for 40 years.
I heard you. What was your question again?
Why can't Bluff Ridge people decide what Bluff Ridge community should be like?
Well, it's in Jefferson County, not in Bluff Ridge. So.
Well, again, that all goes to the comprehensive planning process for which, we had countywide meetings in several locations, 2 of which were in McCalla and McElroy School Road. We had an online way to participate online with that whole process took over a year. So all that information was out there at the time to have the public's input. And when we did meet with the public, and we came up with a draft land use plan that we presented back to the public, there was another time for the public to make comment at that point. That's why that was adopted. So I mean, all the plans are public documents that are made for the input of the public, if not directly included by the public.
Mr. Prince, I commiserate with your feeling, what you're saying. But following Mr. Morrison, your property, as Mr. Caskey pointed out, has been designated by the county commission as an activity center property, not a warehouse property. That's.
I wouldn't even know what to do with an activity. The only activity center that's going to be there is a 5-acre hog farm, because that's what I'm going to do with it.
I understand that, but the county commission's already approved that, has adopted it. And since technically your property doesn't fit within that classification for activity center, that's why the staff has recommended denial of your petition. So it's not a question of what D.R. Horton did or what your.
Well, I'm just saying the excuse that was given to me was because of the Shades Creek runoff. It was the reason they used to turn us down 5 years ago. And my wife went to that little meeting that y'all was claiming they had at McAdory School. It wasn't a meeting. It was a PowerPoint presentation where they told us everything, what it's going to be, and here it is, and there it is. And I don't think there was a question to ask or answer. Well, then you call my wife a liar because she was there.
Hey, stop.
Time's up.
Okay, that's enough. We're not going to get out of order.
Time's up.
All right, so I understand there's disagreement. That's fine. We're following the regulations that we're given, and we're going to, unless you have something new to ask, we're going to stop the public comment, okay?
Okay, well, it's zoned rural
It's zoned
residential.
agricultural, and you can do anything that zoning regulations for agricultural allow, okay?
Come by here and buy your horse, because I'm going to make it all into a hog farm.
Whatever, it's allowed in A1.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all very much for your time. I do appreciate your time. This has been a real education for me.
Well, do you want to hear the end? I mean, you probably know what it's going to be, but just so to remind you that this will be heard at the zoning commission, not the zoning commission, the county commission meeting, the next future one. So We don't decide, we just make a recommendation based on the regulations.
They're gonna go by whatever y'all recommend.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure you know, we aren't the end, we're just the middle, I guess. So I'm closing the public hearing, and I would ask the commissioners if you have any questions. All right, having none, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to deny case Z25-0023, the current zoning A1 to a zoning of I1 light industrial that is required to allow the proposed use conflicts with the adopted policies of the county's Forward Together Comprehensive Plan of 2025.
Second.
All right, have a motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. Yes, motion passes for denial. My apologies on the hard gavel.
We need to get that fixed now.
For the record, in all my years, I've never had to hard gavel somebody.
I've never seen you hard gavel.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I've been here since at least 2015.
Okay, all right, so we have one more rezoning case, and it's case number Z250025. This is Russell, and I was going to look how to pronounce your name, but would you do it for me? Zelski. All right, Mr. Zelski is the applicant. It's a request for a change in zoning to A1 for 8 residential lots that are currently zoned I3 industrial and I3S strip mining. The address is 2450 Mud Creek Road, Adger, Alabama 35006. Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir. So this property is designated within the future land use map as a natural area and open space, as well as agricultural and rural. And the applicant's development proposal fits within the designation. According to the future land use map, the current zoning map on the right shows you that the property falls within the I3 industrial zoning classification, and surrounding the property to the north, to the west, as well as to the east, the property is also zoned I3 industrial. There is I3S strip mining zoning to the west of the property as well. Existing land use conditions for this site, the property, it falls within the Valley Creek watershed. There are no wetlands on the site. The property is also not within a designated FEMA floodplain. Contours range from 440 to 600. There are moderate to steep slopes, and property has limited suitability for residential uses. The aerial map shows you the property is presently vacant and undeveloped, and this is an eagle's eye view of what the site looks like. It's literally on a slope. Again, with contours ranging from 440 at the lowest edge up to 530 at its peak. The property is also surrounded by single-family residential uses to the north as well as to the south. I won't go over the slope zone district because it doesn't necessarily apply, although it's adopted. Slope zone overlay district has not yet been applied to the county zoning map. But were it being implemented today, I will say that the minimum lot size required for each of the 8 lots proposed would be 25,000 square feet, and the applicant's development proposal exceeds that requirement. No more than 15% would be allowed in impervious surface, or the maximum disturbed area would be 30%, and building limit on building height would be 35 feet, with setbacks of 25 feet in the front and the rear. With 15 feet on both sides. This is the applicant's development proposal. Shows you the 8 lots. Each of the lots would have, at least preliminarily, more than one acre, which complies with the A1 zone district requirement. Staff is recommending approval, and that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brown. So, is there any opposition here to this rezoning case? All right, would the applicant come up and give us your name and address, please?
Thank you for having us here today. I'm Russell Zelski, 2803 Yellowleaf Road, Clanton, Alabama.
Thank you, Mr. Zelski. I know you had a good show beforehand, so hope that was good for you. And did you have anything you wanted to add to Mr. Brown's presentation or anything
I don't. I just appreciate y'all's consideration and Mr. Brown's working with us, getting us this far this quick.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? Okay.
I'm curious, what are you gonna build on that hill?
It's really not near what it looks like on Topo. There's a lot of great building spots on there, and that's the reason too. All the lots are 7 acres, 5 acres, 13 acres. They were kind of preliminary laid out with the contour for buildability too.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, Mr. Zielinski, thank you. I think we're going to go ahead and vote here. So hearing no questions and no more questions and no opposition, let's go ahead to a motion on the zoning case.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve Z25-0025.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes. And just remember that this will be heard at a future county commission meeting for final approval, perhaps. All right, thank you all for your time. And Ken, I know that Miss Debbie back there wanted to talk to you about some traffic stuff, so don't run out. She stayed for all the fun, and so appreciate that. I'm not going anywhere, Michael. I know we've got. Yes, we are adjourned.
Now you want to light gavel.
Yeah, they want to light gavel. And thank you, everybody.